Good morning, students. Welcome to real numbers topic. In previous class, as we discussed regarding rational numbers and their representation in decimal expansion, and if they are given a rational number, how can you say that without performing actual division, it is a terminating decimal? We have discussed in the previous class. Is it? In today's session, we talk about what is an irrational number and how can you prove those given numbers are irrational numbers. In this part, already we have learned in previous class, that is in 9th class, what are irrational numbers and what are the examples of irrational numbers and how to represent irrational number on number line. Is it or not? These are all topics we covered in 9th class. Now in this 10th class, we prove how irrational numbers, how can you prove the numbers are irrational numbers? Yes. See, what is the definition of irrational numbers? The numbers which cannot be written in the form of, or which cannot be expressed in the form of p by q, where q is not equal to 0, p and q are co-prime. Such type of numbers are called irrational numbers. Yes. And in another way, we can say that an irrational number is a number which is non-terminating and non-repeating decimal. Which is non-terminating and non-repeating decimal. It is a irrational number. For example, irrational numbers. Our topic is irrational numbers. The numbers, say root 2, root 3, root 5, so on, like this. These are irrational numbers. And also pi also an irrational number. Pi is also an irrational number. Yes? We are in the 9th class itself. How can you say that pi is an irrational number? Because pi is, for our calculation purpose, we consider it as 22 by 7. But in its decimal expansion, we will get like 3.14159265358979 and so on, like this. See, here is so on means here it is no ending. That means non-terminating, no ending, non-terminating, and are these any decimals are repeating, any digits are repeating here? No. 5, 9, 2, 6, 5, 3, 5, 8. I mean continuously. Like this, for example, 99999, like that, no repetition here. So this type of decimals are called non-terminating, non-repeating decimals. So these are all called irrational numbers. So this everything we have learned in previous class. Yes. Now in this session, we have to prove root 2, root 3, root 5, and so on are irrational numbers. That means these are in the form of root p, where p is a prime or which cannot be written square of any integer. A square of any integer. A square of any integer. A square of any integer. Yes, such type of numbers are called irrational numbers. These are some examples. Okay. Now, to prove this root 2, root 3, root 5, so on are irrational numbers, we use fundamental theorem of arithmetic. So before going to prove those numbers are irrational numbers, we need to learn one a small topic. We need to talk about one statement, that is, let p be a prime number. If p divides a square, where A is a positive integer, then P divides A. So we have to discuss this statement. Yes. Now how to prove this statement? Okay. Before going to prove it, I will take some numbers. See, generally here P is a prime number. They are given. They are given P is a prime number. For suppose P is equal to 3, then P divides A square. Then let A square value is 81, because according to given statement P divides A square. P divides 81. Dividing in the sense the remainder is 0. 3 divides 81 27 times. Similarly, then if A square is equal to 81, then what about A value? Square root of 81. That is 9. Now, is 3 divided 9? Yes. Here, P divides A. Since 3 divides 9, so P divides A. Like that. If you take 5, 625. 5 divides 625. There 5 is P, 625 is A square. So here 5 divides 625, then 5 divides the square root of 625 is 25. That means if P be a prime number, if P divides A square, then P divides A. Here A is any positive integer. Okay, understood. Now how to prove it by using fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Okay, you understood the statement, what is the meaning of the statement by this example. How to prove it by using fundamental theorem of arithmetic. We prove it using fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Okay. Now see proof. Here P is a prime number. P divides A square. Yes. Let us assume the prime factorization of A. The prime factorization of A as A is equal to P1 into P2 into P3 into so on Pn. P1 into P3, P2 into P3 into so on Pn, where P1, P2, P3 are prime numbers. What are these? Prime numbers. P1, P2, P3 and so on are prime numbers. Yes. Now here what is given? P divides A square. P divides A square. So that I am finding A square value. A square can be written as A into A. Yes, that means P1, P2, P3, so on Pn into the value of A is P1, P2, P3, so on Pn into A again. P1, P2, P3, so on into Pn. See, the relation between these two is a product. Yes. So, if you multiply A into A, we are getting A square. Similarly, P1 into P1, P1 square. P2 into P2, P2 square. P3 square. So on Pn square. This is the value of A square. See, here P1, P2, P3, so on Pn are the prime numbers. Since given that P is a prime number and P divides A square, since P is a prime number and it divides A square, that means therefore P divides this relation. A square, the meaning of the A square is nothing but P1 square into P2 square into P3 square into so on Pn square. Here P divides P1 square into P2 square into P3 square into so on Pn square. So P divides this means by using the uniqueness part of fundamental theorem of arithmetic. By uniqueness part of fundamental theorem of arithmetic. By uniqueness part of fundamental theorem of arithmetic. What it says fundamental theorem of arithmetic? every composite number can be expressed as product of primes, and the prime factorization is unique. In a sense, if you write any prime in any order, the finally factorization is same. There is no change in that. Yes, for example, if I consider 27, the prime factorization is 3 into 3 into 3, 3 cube. Then what are the prime factors of 27 means what do you say? Only we can say 3. Yes. Similarly, if you take 84, this can be written as 2 into 42, again 2 into 2 into 21, 2 into 2 into 3 into 7. Now it can be expressed as 2 square into 3 into 7. Then what are the prime factors of 84? We say that 2 comma 3 comma 7. We don't say that it is already repeated. Now we take only single line. Okay. That is why here also, by using the uniqueness part of fundamental theorem of arithmetic, here P divides P1 square into P2 square into P3 square into so on Pn square. Instead of square here, we will take only one time, that is P divides P1 into P2 into P divides P1 into P2 into P3 into so on Pn. That means P is one of these P1, P2, P3 and so on Pn. But what do you consider P1 into P2 into P3 into so on Pn? Then nothing but A. We consider it as A. We consider it as A, so that here P divides, therefore what do we say? P divides A. We can say that P divides A. Hence proved. So like this we can prove this statement. Just by using this statement we prove that some irrational numbers, okay, some given numbers are irrational numbers like root 2, root 3, root 5, root 7 and all. See my dear children, in 1 minute I will explain once again. See, let us consider that the prime factorization of A as follows. A is equal to P1 into P2 into P3 and so on Pn, where P1, P2, P3 are primes. Okay. Here A square can be expressed as A into A. Yes, for our convenience I have written like this. So what is the prime factorization of A? P1 into P2 into P3 so on Pn. So A into A, P1 into P2 into P3 into so on Pn into again P1 into P2 into P3 so on Pn. These are primes. Okay. So if we multiply these two set of prime factors, we will get square on each, because A into A square. By using exponents formulas, we will get the value of A square is equal to P1 square into P2 square into P3 square and so on. Since P is a prime and it divides A square, according to given data it divides A square, so that P divides the value of A square is P1 square into P2 square into P3 square and so on Pn square. Therefore, P divides P1 square into P2 square and so on Pn square. If the divides in the sense the remainder is 0, then P is a factor of this expression. If P is a factor of this expression, by using the uniqueness part of the fundamental theorem of arithmetic, P divides, we take here one time itself, because here every factor is repeated twice, but we consider here one time by using the fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Therefore, P is one of P1 into P2 into so on Pn. But this P1 into P2 into P3 into so on Pn is equal to A, what we have considered earlier in the first step itself. Therefore, by this we can say that P divides A. So hence proved. This is the statement of the given theorem. Let P be a prime number. If P divides A square, then P divides A. Okay, my dear children, this is the statement what we use in next classes to prove either root 2 or root 3 or root 5 or so on. This statement is very useful to prove the irrational numbers. The given numbers are irrational numbers. Okay, my dear children, I hope you all understood. So practice this twice and we will meet in the next session. Thank you.